So a lot of people have issues understanding why it's very difficult to gank side lanes as opposed to mid lanes, and why there when you're watching a challenger game or something like that, lots of times you'll find the junglers just like to hover around mid area, and it's for a couple of reasons. I'm going to go over in this video with two replays why it's really important to create a tension between the enemy jungler and yourself, and give yourself the information so you can make the informed decisions here. So okay, so we have Lee Sin handing off blue to Anivia here, and so from here he chooses to sit bot because the wave is incoming. So if they play up just a little bit, Lee Sin's able to come in from try and make the gank happen here. Now, there are a couple things wrong with this, unfortunately. One, Morgana's playing around this area at this point, so she's probably warded in this area. See? Ward's already down here. And what we're seeing here is there's no vision in this area, because, except for here, because that's all Lux really can afford, right? She has her blue trinket, and she didn't buy herself, she has a pink ward that she hasn't placed down yet. And so we see Udyr topside here. Now, keep in mind, we're focusing on what vision we have on red side at this point. So there are a couple things wrong with this scenario. One, the wave is pushing in, irrelevant to, what is possible in a vacuum, right? Like, obviously, perfectly, Ashe ults them, Karma speeds them up, Lee Sin gets the kick off, and it's a very easy kill. However, due to where the wave is, it creates a lot of variance and a lot of issues in terms of of how they're going to play this, because Lee's already looking to come in here, right? And where's this ping? This ping is saying, they're telling him back off. We just want to farm the wave. There's no reason to make any real plays. So since blue knows that the Udyr's topside in this situation, right over here, they're probably just going to play all the way back, because they know if Lee Sin shows up at any point here, they're going to lose it. They have a possibility of losing it and possibly just straight up dying. So, as we play it out here, no vision here. Graves has no idea that Udyr's already in this brush here. Lee Sin is still here, waiting for the gank to happen. He eventually realizes it's a waste of time, goes to the Gromp. Graves is pinging in here. Udyr has already decided to show since Anivia warded. Lee Sin has to run all the way over here and try and stop this game from happening. Obviously, it's too late. Anivia dies. Creates an entire chase here. So, what Lee should have done in this situation is he should have given the blue, ran to here, and got a ward down on Raptors. And this is because by the way that bot played, we know fairly certainly that Udyr was somewhere around topside. So if he's coming from Wolves, you get to catch him out immediately here. If you catch him, if you know Graves is heading down already at this point, we saw him here. He was already walking down, looking to make something happen. And so, if Lee is in this general area, if we rewind here, so we are at 12:55, right? That's when he starts. It's now 13:03. So this is 10 seconds. Lee would probably be about here at this point if he went to go around. And when he's in this area, if Twitch and Morgana show bot here, he's able to make the gank happen from try at this point. We see the sweeper being swept here. They're expecting Lee Sin to be showing up bot soon. So if they showed here, because the wave is about to die, it's about to balance out again, it's about to become equal again, he's able to make the gank happen bot. If he's here, he also to make the counter gank happen for mid immediately. And this is with absolutely no vision on the enemy team, having very little information. What we know here is bot backed up after pushing in the wave, and that's it. So the most important thing when you're trying to snowball a game is to create the vision to make correct decisions. And I understand it's very hard to infer information here because, oh, they backed up. I don't understand why they backed up. This was a waste of time here. Is probably what you would say in game. Like, okay, maybe I can make this happen. Okay, it didn't happen, whatever. And then this happens, and you're like, oh, that's pretty unfortunate. But no, we were actually given just enough information to make the correct decision in this case. Because if Lee Sin is here at this time when this is happening, instead of walking up the Gromp, which he was, right? We wasted about 10 seconds here. Could have easily been here. Could have easily worded this. This situation is far more easier to recover from because Graves is already incoming. If we take a look at Blue's vision, they don't know that Graves is incoming from topside at this point. They possibly do. But at this point, if Lee Sin's here, it becomes a straight up 3v2. Lee Sin kicks Lux into Udyr. Very easy, clean kill. You're able to take mid tower off of it. And so this is why a lot of better junglers play around the mid lane so often, because these areas here need to be contested for vision at a much it's very important because it just simply gives you far more information about what will be happening within the next couple of seconds, rather than trying to gank bot over and over again through vision, trying to gank bot top through a tower through vision in these areas. And that's why you find people playing in short lanes far more often than the side lanes. And so that's why that's an overview on why you need to be playing around possibilities and basically hedging your bets, or like rounding out your bets to make sure that you are in the right place at the right time. So I'm gonna move on to another replay here. This was a game I played last night, and it's another good example of 2v2 and 2v1 theory. So now, ignoring the troll here, like quote troll unquote. This was a very good. This game was a very good example of how you can play around mid too much. How you can play around the possibilities of snowballing the map by taking the mid turret and expecting things to be scripted for you. So I'm playing Nocturne in this game, and let's see here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So basically, what happens is I gank mid like 50 times this game, and it's a very poor success rate, unfortunately. Okay, so here, Aatrox sees me. I done the 4 camp into full clear start to hit level 6 as fast as possible. I managed to get an assist on bot lane. So here we go. So I take the scuttle here, immediately ulti in. TF isn't expecting this, so we get the kill in immediately. Right? So good way to start the game. Playing around mid, making sure that my ultimate is available. When my ultimate's available, I'm using it immediately to give the opponents as little time as possible to recover. So, like, in general theory, what I wanted to do this game was I just wanted to play around ganking ganking the global, and it ends up backfiring rather drastically, unfortunately. Here we go. That's just me dying in crowds again. Okay, so we see this is happening. We gank mid. And we start pushing for mid. My ultimate's up in a relatively short period of time here, so I'm expecting Leona to come back mid and just blow her ultimate so we can just make the gank happen immediately, like just over and over again. Now TF is very aware of this here, and I should have been very, very aware of the possibilities here. So what I ended up doing here is I ended up standing in mid for like a long time, waiting for him to gank, waiting for him to show up. But no, he just shoves the wave and backs up. Leona's wave clear isn't that great. We're waiting on a lot here. Let me switch over to red side. So here, I should be creating vision for myself. If I put a ward here, I have an idea of what's going to happen with the Aatrox very shortly. If I know if TF is going to roam at that point too. So here, I immediately call for the gank here. He flashes. So that's down. So this keeps happening. If we fast forward, we find ourselves in a situation where our presence is just not good enough at this point to really make things happen. As you can see, they use the mobility of their globals to really put pressure on the map. And so here, once again, try and kill TF. Aside from mechanical misplays, he just flashes over. Once again, he has like 15% CDR on his summoners, plus the Ionian Boots of Lucidity. He's really impossible to kill at this point. And so, what I really needed to do this game was create vision on the contestable areas, so things like this could be avoided and I could see them coming. Instead, what I do is I continuously farm and expect things to work out. Absolutely not the case here. I played the 2v2 very poorly, and unfortunately, because I didn't put any pressure on any other lane, it was very difficult for me to have a foothold into this game. So it's an example of the TF played very well in terms of being able to 2v1 the jungler in mid. You know, that's obviously the hallmark of a very good mid laner. And so from there, I needed to adjust my playstyle in order to create pressure on other parts of the map. Pantheon was probably a very easy gank if I went with Poppy. Soraka probably was very easy pickings if I had chosen to use it. But instead, I relied very heavily on being able to play my confidence in a 2v1 situation with mid, and it simply didn't pay off for me. So this is what you have to be thinking about. You have to be thinking about, what is this working out right now? You know, and I know it's very difficult to understand that, but you know, there's only if you only think in one way in terms of the game, and you don't give yourself opportunities and possibilities, you're simply going to fall behind. As you can see here, it's now a 6K 6K lead, because there's just nothing. I pretty much did nothing with my pressure early while Aatrox was farming, and he's able to get ahead, get to his Sated Devourer, get the dragons, get the Rage Blades, and I didn't take advantage of any objectives. You know, aside from the Leona being, you know, very very difficult to work with in terms of like wave clear and such. So like that allow TF to like really push the tower and push its advantages. In most games, if you just apply the correct pressure to the correct areas, you'll find yourself winning far more games, and that really involves putting down vision and creating situations for yourself to where you know you can make the right decision. Sometimes you're going to be like, okay, I think this is going to happen, and sometimes you're going to be right, and sometimes you're going to be wrong. But if you create the vision beforehand, you will simply be able to figure things out at a much rapid rate.